Hey guys, so I'm actually in the process of copywriting a number of images, and I kind of wanted to walk through the process with you because I haven't been able to find like a really good resource, and so it's just been like doing it and calling the copyright office, which thankfully there's like real people there. So I figured I'd actually show you kind of what I'm finding out, and then also what I'm doing to prepare all the images so that it's nice, quick, and easy and relatively painless, and get a process moving forward. So there's a couple things that, lessons learned type of things. Number one, any artwork that you create is yours, right? So even if you're teaching a class, you own the copyrights, and anything that's created from your class still belongs to you, and that person does not have the right to resell it, copy it, and so on, because it's a quote derivative artwork based on your original piece, and so they can't sell it. So the idea behind like even artwork that is created from classes, they're learning pieces. Hold on to them, keep referencing them and the techniques that you learn from. Okay, so that's number one thing that is coming to light here. And number two is make sure that you, and I'm looking at my notes here, make sure that you copyright it before you create products, because here's the thing that I learned. When you create a product and let's say it's sold, like my catacorn, the products that I've created have sold. When you create a product that is sold, it becomes effectively, quote, a published piece, which means that it's had prints made that have sold and are in other people's hands. So whenever you have a published piece that has sold and is in other people's hands, then you have to submit each one of those individually as a copyright. And what that means is each one of those is $65, which, it kind of makes sense. I guess in theory, you've made money off of it. You should pay a little extra for the copyright information. I don't know. It is what it is. Roll with it. So when I was doing my research on this, I guess this changed at some point, because you used to be able to submit groupings of published artwork, and now you can no longer do that. You can, I think, if you're a photographer, but please check the rules and regulations on that if you're a photographer. I am strictly talking about 2D artwork and my lessons learned, okay? So the other thing that you can do, which I thought was awesome, is submit up to 10 pieces in one unpublished, which meaning you haven't put prints on it, you haven't made t-shirts, you haven't done anything with it that's put an additional copy in somebody else's hands. So for those unpublished, you can submit up to 10 pieces, and that's what I'm going to show you today. Okay, so now sharing my screen with you. So when you go to copyright.gov, you can go eco.copyright.gov. If you haven't been here before, you're going to create a new user, and once you do, make sure you document that information. So I'm going to go ahead and go in, and it's going to show me my applications that I've already submitted. And because I've sold some pieces with a catacorn on it, I did have to submit a separate request of that. And so the information that I found from other artists that it was kind of dated, the application fees have increased. And so when you get to this, I'm not sure what the fees are going to be, but today, as of April 22nd, 2021, to submit a single published piece is $65. To publish multiple unpublished works, it's $85. So I was like, ugh, this could get expensive. So just got to plan that in your budget. But so I'm going to submit a bunch of unpublished works. So what I kind of did to prepare for that is I've scanned in my images, or I've had them professionally photographed, and I put them up in Google Drive. So I actually have them multiple places. I've got an external hard drive, and then I have them up on the shared drive, or a cloud drive, so that way I've got redundancy in case my external hard drive blows up or something. I don't know. So I have a folder and it's called Submits for Copyright because I'm like super original in my naming conventions. And then I've divided them up based kind of on subject. And the reason why I did that is to kind of maximize the number of pieces that I could submit for a single application. So in this one, I've got my animal paintings and I do have conveniently 10. So that way I can kind of make sure everything's good with that. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and submit a new one. And this one is register groups of published works. That's not it. Let's see, here it is. Register a group of unpublished works. They make this writing teeny tiny and completely not user-friendly. I mean, seriously, as much as we pay the government, you would think they would have better things here. Just saying. So it tells you like what actually qualifies, what doesn't actually qualify, and you're like, okay, well, let's just go ahead. Start registration. These little buttons up here are not evident. You kind of want to click on these one down here, but been there, done that, not the right little clicks. So you click on Start Registration, and then you type in select the type of work. These are visual arts. Make sure it meets all that criteria. I know it does, so I'm clicking that. And then you got to scroll back up because it's a brilliant system and click Continue. Okay, so now we're going to click this little new button right here. And so what we're doing is typing in the title of each piece, and it does need to correlate to what's on the sheet. So I'm going to do that. And then click Save, and then you click New, and then you add the next title. Click Save, and click New. Okay, so I'm going to go through this, and you're going to hang out for a second. Okay, so now that I've got all of my pieces in there, I still haven't submitted anything like image-wise yet. I'm going to go ahead and click Continue. All right, and the year that all of these were completed was actually last year. And many of these you guys haven't seen. Okay, so I'm going to click Continue. All right, so this is where if you're going through it for the first time, you're going to click New. But I've already kind of gone through this, so I can just click Add Me. And so it's got my information here, and then, author created, yes. These are author created and they're two-dimensional artwork. One little thing I found out here is like you either put your name or your organization. You don't do both. So like I'm Stephanie Weaver, Fine Art Artist, LLC. So, but I just put my name here. You also have to put your citizenship and where you live. So that's good. All right, click Save, click Continue. Okay, I didn't use anybody else's materials, rights, positions, and all that stuff, so I click Continue. Let's see, this one is permission information, so you can just kind of add me, contact or person or organizations that I need to contact, so that's me, it's probably you, chief contact and bottle washer, you know what I mean? The person in the Copyright Office will contact if there's a question about the application. And then where the copyright should actually go to, the registration certificate, where should it go to? It's kind of the same thing. All right, we are almost done. Okay, so this is like, is there any special handling? I don't have any special handling, and if you do, you fill that out according to your needs. And I'm going to click Continue. And then this is basically certifying that, yes, everything, I am the author of these works and the information given in this application is correct to the best of my knowledge. And then I type in my name. And that's all that is. And then you get to pay. Well, it has you make sure everything is all good. And it defaults the title here. I don't really like it, but it is what it is, I think. So I'm going to accept and move on. Say, oops, I clicked the wrong button. I didn't mean to save for later. All right, let's go back to that one. So I want to go to Add to Cart. And now I'm going to go ahead and check out. Okay, and this is where it wants you to pay either the deposit from your account or pay with credit card. And I'm going to pause this. Okay, so now that I've paid, now I get to submit my information, like the images and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue. Okay, so when I click continue and then add in my images, what the Copyright Office actually wants you to do is submit each image individually and have them appropriately named. Now, I have actually done this a little bit differently several times where I put all the images into one document, just using Google Documents and saving it as PDF. They accepted that submission, actually about 5 of them that way, so over 50 paintings in those submissions. And but they did send me an email recommending that I, from this point forward, send them individual images for each one. So you would upload 10 images for the 10 that are in one application, rather than one document with all 10 images in it. Hope that makes sense. But that's what they recommended, and so that's what I'm passing on to you guys. And if you have any questions, just pop them into the comments. And so once you select the files, select files to upload. And there's my file. And then you got to click this little blue button. Okay, so you click the blue button, and then this one over here turns green, says click here to complete your submission after uploading the files. So, and that is it. So the first time that I did this, it took me like quite a bit, but this time, I was able to submit 10 images, and it probably took me 20 minutes. So the longest, I think, thing that takes you to actually do all this is scanning and getting your artwork photographed and kind of prepare everything ahead of time. So for those of us who are procrastinators, hi, then this process is great because you can keep creating until you have like 10 images that kind of fall within like a bundle of things. Or when you create a series, then you can bundle all those things and submit one application, which is $85 for unpublished. And then once you submit the application, then you can actually start creating products. So that's it for this time. And I just received a notification right then that the Copyright Office has got my information. So that's pretty darn cool. So that's it. It's really not that bad, not that painless. It's just a little bit more costly than it was like 8 years ago. So yay. All right. Until next time, you guys stay safe, happy and healthy, and happy creating, and be sure to protect your rights. Bye, guys. One other thing that I forgot that I actually do as well. So when I submit the copyright and all that, what I have here is a database that I put together of all of my artwork, where it is, how much it is, the inventory really. So in this product catalog here, what I've done is I'll go down, and like the example here is for all these catacorns and everything, which I submitted also today. I go all the way over and I put the date that I submitted them, the registration number, and then where the images are in my Google Drive, just so I can easily find it at some point. But so my job next is to take each one of these and make sure that I identify that they have been copyrighted, put the registration date, and then once I get the registration, the copyright notice, my form, I catalog those. I scan them and catalog them as well. So there's a lot of work in this, isn't there, guys? In this job of being an artist, but it is still kind of fun. And to get a piece of paper like that by the United States government it's a neat thing. You should be proud. So, okay, now that's it. Until next time, stay safe, happy and healthy, and happy creating.